Escarabajo. Temazo. La consulta del doctor Escarabajo, dígame.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta
La
del doctor
consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
La consulta del doctor Escarabajo.
There ain't no one close to me. Every tear that I've shed, there ain't no one but my old best friend, that whispering voice in my head.
Yeah, I'm very satisfied with my career. It's been a journey that's had many different phases. The first decade was made as a one-man band, and my whole mission was to sound like a whole band by myself, and that was my party trick, sounding as big as I could, and that was really enjoyable. But then after a while, especially because I was playing a lot in Australia, and it's not the biggest of places, I just decided to mix it up and to work on different things within my playing, and now I'm doing something that's a bit more like a tradition. It's really more of a traditional blues trio setup, and that allows me to work on my guitar playing a lot more, and that's what I've been enjoying over the last few years. Really, playing guitar like my heroes, which are probably Albert King, B.B. King, Jimi Hendrix, and then I've got another side that's sort of more Delta blues-ish. So yeah, it's been a very fulfilling career because I've had so many different phases. Well, Mojo was more of a traditional blues rock album. Most of my albums in the past have had a little twist of something different, but this album was recorded in America with a lot of old blues legends. The whole rhythm section were seasoned veterans, and yeah, I was so lucky to have some of my heroes on that album. And so it sits as a more traditional guitar blues album. Well, the thing I'm very excited about is that the album hasn't really been pushed in Europe yet or toured in Europe yet. So I'm very excited to play these songs all around Europe, and I think it's going to go really well for an audience that appreciates blues music. Yeah, and I've got a lot of amazing special guests like Terry Evans, who's no longer with us, unfortunately. I was lucky to get him, an African American man from Mississippi who was on a lot of Ry Cooder's work in the early days, and Joe Bonamassa is a big one, who is such an amazing guitarist. I was lucky to have him, and Kim Wilson from the Fabulous Thunderbirds on harmonica. So yeah, it's a pretty classic album to have these people, and my friend from Australia, Josh Teskey of the Teskey Brothers, who are doing really well all around the world at the moment with their soul band. Also Mahalia Barnes, who plays with Josh Teskey. So I think the album will go really well in Europe, and I'm looking forward to getting over and playing much more in Europe.
The time I noticed
Everything in how I play my live show to do with my guitar playing and my singing is different to last time I was in Spain. They have a saying in English, woodshedding. You go to the woodshed. It's just like going to a shed and just practicing all day for months on end, and then coming out the other end different. And I spent a lot of the last 2 years woodshedding, working on my playing, and lately I've been working on my singing, which I used to take for granted. I thought of myself mainly as a vocalist, so that's why for this modern era, at the time of recording Mojo and after it was recorded, I was working very hard on my guitar playing. And so now I thought, well, singing's actually the main thing, so now I'm working on my singing. But I just love giving to my craft, and that's something I've discovered in the last few years, is the pure joy of working away at your art. And it's a really fun thing to do, and I think because I've been practicing a lot, when I get to the gig I just enjoy it. When I'm playing the last song, I don't want it to end, and I feel very fortunate to be in that position after playing for 20 years. Well, my plan is to tour Mojo in Europe. I'm coming to Spain and France for all of March. Then I'll be coming back to Cognac Blues Festival and a couple of others in France. Maybe, hopefully, some dates in Spain, I'm not sure. And maybe a few dates in the Benelux region. And then later in the year I have a tour of Switzerland booked, and might be doing a few more dates, and that will promote Mojo. And then I have an acoustic blues duo album with my friend Josh Teskey that I was talking about from the Teskey Brothers, that maybe we will tour in Europe. The Teskey Brothers come to Europe a lot, so who knows about that. If our schedules come together, maybe we will tour that. And I've written about 15 new songs for after that, and I'm really looking forward to getting that new album out as well. So it's a busy time coming up.
You ain't my problem anymore.